Before you go out and buy that really expensive gaming monitor, watch this video because we can save you a heck of a lot of money.
For only $150 or less in today's video, you can get a 1440p high refresh rate gaming monitor, and we bought 5 of them that you can buy on Amazon today to test and see if they're worth it. But first, a word from today's sponsor.
As a tech enthusiast and dare I say PC building expert, there's only one thing that fuels my carnal desire for destruction, and that's seeing someone with unactivated Windows. Luckily for you, today's video sponsor GVG Mall is here to help. GVG Mall is an online marketplace with game keys and Windows licenses for cheap. The best part is, it's extremely easy. All you have to do is purchase a key using code TB20, then just copy and paste the key into Windows. And beyond just saving big on game keys or Windows 10 or 11 keys, you also get to avoid my wrath. Check out GVG Mall today and be sure to use code TB20 to save big on your purchase.
So guys, the category today is 1440p, under $150, and high refresh rate, all available on Amazon.
Now what this video is our initial opinions and reactions to using these 5 monitors as people who use 1440p high refresh rate monitors. We'll tell you which one we like the most, but what this video isn't is a deep dive onto the technicalities of these monitors in terms of like color accuracy, response time, and things like that. This is more of an initial impression video and just for us to give you an honest opinion on what we think of these displays and rank them from 1 to 5 in terms of which one we think is the best and which one might need some improvement. So let's go ahead and pick our first monitor and dive into some testing. We're so excited, monitors!
All right, so KTC upcoming first.
Yep, upcoming first, guys. This right here is a KTC 27-inch 1440p monitor, 100 hertz, comes with a IPS panel, FreeSync support, G-Sync support, and this one, believe it or not, guys, with a coupon code, we picked up for $89.
Wow.
Which is incredibly cheap for 1440p. What are we missing?
I actually run a KTC in the other room. That's a known brand around here.
So to save you guys the headache of watching us build these monitors, or maybe we should show you guys because, well, we just we're dropping stuff everywhere. We're gonna go ahead and cut to the monitor being done after we introduce the specs. McAllister, the magic of video editing. All right, guys, so we got the monitor unboxed. That was actually really quick. It was maybe like a minute from that snap I just did. But on first impressions, it's a 27-inch monitor. It's really cool to see 27-inch displays under $100. We'll say stands a bit lackluster, but
it's plastic, but I will say it was toolless, which was really nice. So just 2 pieces, they snapped right in. It does have a VESA mount on the back, pretty nice. We do get some ports. We get a DC port, 2 HDMI, a display port, and an earphone jack.
And I'm bringing over the computer to test this thing because, you know, we need a computer to test it. But hey, we're gonna play some games on it. Well, a game. We're just gonna launch into the finals in the training lobby, just kind of like we did for the mouse video. Get a feel for how the game feels, if we notice any ghosting or things like that. Again, this is an initial impression video, and yeah, we'll get it all hooked up and see what it looks like on first launch. All right, guys, first impression on this monitor, I will say, 100 hertz, it feels pretty smooth. I could definitely, again, I use like a 240 hertz monitor here and at home now. I could definitely tell a difference between 100 and 240. It's not like the super crazy smooth, but image quality looks pretty solid. How's it look from your point of view?
It looks good. It's not really like, are we getting any ghosting when you turn?
Not really. Anything major. The monitor display, let's see, we got only a 55 on brightness. So
I felt like it was a little dim.
Yeah, so it's, oh, okay. This is gonna be a game of can Matt figure out how to navigate the menus. And, oh yeah. Oh, that gets pretty bright actually. And see all the other settings. You got FreeSync, G-Sync you can turn on, overdrive if you want to eliminate some of the ghosting.
As soon as you can see like the goosebumps on their skin.
And look at all that detail right there. You can see the goosebumps. That's what's cool about 1440p, guys, is obviously, we'll back out of this. You do get a higher picture quality. It's not great for super budget PCs, but this build right here with a 4060, again, we're in a practice range right now running medium settings, we can still get a higher refresh experience. I just now discovered this was a place. I didn't even know you could go up here.
There's all kinds of spots apparently.
But yeah.
No, it actually looks really, for $89, dude, that's solid. I mean, yeah, I've been over to Jonas a few times. This feels like his 240 hertz Alienware. 280. Pretty similar. 280.
He said 280, get it right.
But no, I mean, for 100 hertz, this does feel really good. It definitely feels better than like the typical 60 or 75. So yeah, I think this one definitely gets a good pass. Look at the basically zero bezel design too.
And the fact that you can get these pretty budget, if you're wanting like an all matching like 1440p 100 hertz setup, you get them for 84 bucks with a discount code. You can do like a triple monitor setup for less than some of these higher end monitors. So building out a budget setup for 1440p, this was a good option. It is the first one, so it's gonna go first right now, but let's go ahead and switch up to the next monitor.
Next up on the list is the SANSUI ES-G27 F2Q.
And the name tells you all you need to know. It's a 1440p 27-inch monitor, but one important thing, and John's gonna like this a little bit more, this is 180 hertz. And this one comes at a price point of $119. So we're into the $100 price point. Again, all the prices are subject to change, but at the time of recording this video, we paid $119 for this monitor.
That's pretty crazy sounding. 1440p, 27, and 180 hertz.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. It is an IPS display. We also have the same features that came with the other monitor, which includes 120% sRGB color space. It comes with eye care technology. It does boast a metal stand and an IPS display that has a 1 millisecond response time. So metal stand, maybe better build quality here.
All right, so just like the other monitor, it is just a power brick that goes straight to the cord and metal stand. Yeah. Oh, display port. I forgot the display port. The other one was HDMI.
In terms of adjustment on this, it's just like the other monitor, front and back. But the cool thing is these monitors are VESA mountable, so buy a monitor arm and have an even cleaner setup once you get this set up.
All right, ports. I'll show you guys the back of it too, because I'm sure some people are curious what it looks like. Why do they have so many? 2 HDMI, 2 display port, headphone jack, and the DC in. So I guess this is like for, you know, someone if you got like a console at home, you can have a console, your VCR, your Blu-ray player, all the things.
Your mini PC, like you can have whatever you want on this
Everybody
thing.
does that, right?
That's a lot of ports for a monitor, I'll give them that. Now the question is, whenever they go crazy with the specs like this, we tend to see at this price point something weird about them, whether it's ghosting or the image is just darker than usual, but hey, we're gonna give it a shot here. We're gonna see if that 180 hertz feels like 180 hertz. But yeah, this is 180 right now, and it's super smooth. Now, we haven't upped the brightness all the way, which I'll say in game, it actually looks pretty good. I will say responsiveness, really good. This one could definitely be like one of my primary monitors, because like, again, I'm a little spoiled by super high refresh rate now, but 180 hertz is kind of that number where I wouldn't notice a major difference between this and let's say like a 240.
I feel like the colors look a little better in this one too, just ever so slightly. Not anything crazy, but yeah, that looks really good. And you can definitely just tell the difference just visually. It feels smoother. Like before it felt kind of snappy when you flicked, but now it feels like you can see the whole entire motion happening. Yeah, no, for 120, so this one's 30 bucks more?
So it'd be 89 to 120, so yeah, 30 bucks more.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but you gotta keep in mind, we're talking about, I mean, that's what? That's over it. That's like a 30% price increase or more if my math checks out. So that is something to keep in mind for people like on a tight budget. You know, is it worth the jump? I think so.
I think so too, and would you put this one ahead of the other one, even though it's at $89, or do you think the price is hard to beat?
That is, $89 is pretty crazy for that.
It's pretty crazy. I think this one, I'll say second for this one just because it is a little more expensive, and at $89, if you get that $89, that is like really hard to beat value-wise. But this one, if you do spend more money, you are getting, I would think, good return at 180 hertz. So we'll go put this one tentative for second, kind of like tied with first for right now, but we'll go second with this one and move on to the next monitor.
You guys have heard of OLED technology. Well, ARZOPA has ELED.
Yeah, this monitor says it has ELED. I don't know what ELED is. This one's a 27-inch monitor, 180 hertz, again 1440p IPS with a 1 millisecond response time, and it does come with FreeSync support and 150% sRGB coverage. And this one came in at $139. So this one's about $20 more, with honestly similar specs to the last one we just looked at.
Toolless stand. This one went back to plastic, which is kind of funny. So it's a little bit wobbly, I will say, but we do get VESA. Matt pointed out this one, it's interesting. It's a portable monitor. It has USB Type-C and 1 HDMI, 1 DisplayPort, an audio, and a DC in.
I know some laptops, and I would assume that USB Type-C also offers power over USB-C, so if you use a one cable like laptop setup where you plug up a laptop, charge your laptop, and also display out, that's kind of cool. And then in terms of power, we have one of these external power bricks that does use a normal power cable, which is nice to see, and we also get a DisplayPort cable and the power cord. So let's go and get her hooked up. All right, guys, we're on this monitor in the finals, and I will say nothing is standing out like dramatically from the last monitor. I will say when we first turned this on, we noticed it was like a little bit brighter, you think? We hadn't even looked at the settings yet.
Yeah, I wonder if it can go brighter.
There's volume.
Wait, does it have speakers?
Does it have speakers? The last one said volume and then it didn't actually work, so maybe. Brightness. I'm used to this interface. I say I'm used to it, but I'm like really struggling to use it right now. All right, brightness. I feel like that did nothing.
We were on 80 as opposed to like 50, like a lot of the other ones you were on.
That's good. So out of the box, it's pretty good. Color settings, everything's pretty standard. Picture quality, overdrive and everything looks pretty good. So yeah, I think this one's good. The thing is, like, is it $20 more good compared to the last 180 hertz monitor we looked at.
$20 more better.
$20 more better.
The USB Type-C could be a selling point for some people.
Yeah, some people who want the laptop like functionality, the USB Type-C might be worth it, but it still feels like just 180 hertz. Again, to be fair, let's preface, with the PC we have right now, we're not pushing the full 180. Do a sky test though, and you'll get close. You'll get close.
There's no sky.
There's no sky. But again, within this range for a budget monitor, you know, most people are gonna have PCs that might be in like the 165 to 180 range anyways, depending on the game.
Yeah, no, this one's, like you're saying, it's solid, but do I notice anything different? Not really.
This one definitely falls a pretty, I wouldn't say distant third, but definitely a solid third compared to the other two monitors, just because the price performance is so much better on those. So we're gonna put this one in third place, and then we got two more to go. Jackson's just being a little arsonist over here.
Next up, we got a Koorui monitor, which is another brand that we bought quite a bit here. This is the GN03, easy name.
So yeah, this one is 165 hertz. So actually going back a little bit in terms of the refresh rate, 1440p. It is a VA panel, which for those who don't know, they don't really make TN panels much anymore because technology's improved a lot recently with that. But it should be more responsive versus an IPS, but that normally means the image quality is gonna be a little bit worse. This thing does come with FreeSync, 1 millisecond response time. Yeah, HDR10 support for those who care about that, but with these budget monitors, HDR is not great.
I see a plastic stand, not display.
Let's build this. All right, guys, so monitor was, again, toolless. I like to see that. And the stand, we did point out, is much wider. So, you know, it's not as bad with the wobbles. I will say up here, it's still a little wobbly.
Bad with the wobbles.
Bad with the wobbles. But this does come with VESA support as well.
All right, the ports, we got DC in, one display port, 2 HDMI, and an audio port.
So yeah, pretty basic. The stand, again, doesn't have height adjustment. It's just tilt forward and tilt back. So that's pretty much it. So we'll get her hooked up, see what it looks like on first impressions, but it's gonna be interesting with this one because it's more expensive than the other ones that we had with lesser specs. So maybe the display is gonna make up for it, or maybe this one might need a little bit of a price adjustment. This power cord came in the box. It's an external one, just like the other ones, and a display port, which we're gonna use to hook up this monitor and test it. All right, guys, so now we have the finals loaded up with this monitor, and let's just see if there's any adjustment we can do here. I will say, and
this one feels bright.
It feels bright, but it also feels kind of grainy, getting brighter.
See, now it almost looks, is that washed out a little bit now?
It looks washed out. I think this is just a VA panel, I'll be honest. So all the other ones we had were IPS, which is gonna have slightly better color reproduction than this. This one definitely feels more washed out.
I know that's one of the, like with laptops, for example, IPS are typically darker looking. So yeah, this is a same example with this VA panel.
Like dark.
I don't notice much ghosting. It is relatively smooth, but something about it's just not as like enjoyable as the other monitors. Maybe it's just because the actual color reproduction is just not great. Here you game on, Jackson, tell me, does this feel smoother? I don't know, it feels fine. It just doesn't feel.
That feels about the same, I think, as the other 180s.
Well, we'll let Jonah play with it because he's the real 240 expert here, but.
It is, it is very close to the others. I definitely think that the color so far is not quite as great.
Now, because Jonah from a distance said that it feels like the smoothest one. Does it feel that way when you're actually using it?
Well, he missed the zip, so I don't know.
I honestly think so, but it's all subjective. But I think with the last one, what was it? The ELED one?
Epizoa.
Epizoa?
The Epizoa. That one definitely. I feel like I noticed more ghosting with that one. I think you'd honestly need to turn up the contrast.
What's going on over here?
I don't know. But you need to turn up the contrast, in my opinion, to get a better looking image. But I mean, smoothness wise, it's pretty solid.
That's one thing to mention too while we're doing this is a lot of these monitors can be tuned to be even better if you do just take the time to go through and calibrate it with like the different settings. This is kind of just us using the initial out-of-box experience for those who don't want to do that. So do we think this one's better than the ARZOPA in terms of gaming or for value? Because I would say this one is, I think it's more expensive by a couple bucks.
It's so close. I mean, I don't know.
It's so close that for once in the history of this channel, I'll give Jonah the veto power.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I'll put it third place. I personally probably would pick the ARZOPA as like my main one just because of the visual reproduction of it, but it's one of those things where, if you really just want the competitive edge and the smoothness, this one might be better for you. So we'll put this one in third place and move on to the last monitor. This one here is a CRUA 27-inch 1440p 140Hz IPS monitor for $139 and features a, again, IPS display, AMD FreeSync, HDMI 2.0, low blue light mode, and it is wall mountable, aka it has VESA mount, which, again, most of these had. So we're going from VA back to IPS. So it'd be an interesting way for us to see if this is a major like quality difference in terms of like the colors and everything. But this one is $140 and features, again, lesser specs than the ones we've already taken a look at the beginning of this video. So we gotta see if this one stands out somehow. Okay, guys, I hate to report that we had to use a screwdriver to screw this one in. It was one screw, it's not too bad, but I will say, this one feels
it's metal
much
again.
sturdier, not as much wobble. The stand is still forward, back. That's all you get. So if you want anything else, get a VESA mount.
Oh, we're going back to a lot of ports. We got 2 HDMI, 2 DisplayPort, DC in, and audio.
And from this acrylic that we see, we're assuming we're gonna get a little RGB action with the back of this monitor, which is, yeah, cool, whatever. I'm glad to see that.
I will say this one I think is the shortest power cable so far. It's like the single brick design.
Now this one should have speakers,
oh, yeah,
based on the fact that I literally see speaker holes. So we'll run those speakers on the benchmark. Maybe we won't. But it does come with the DisplayPort cable, so nice to see that at least.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. It has buttons on the bottom.
Oh,
like
so
multiple.
yeah, we have individual buttons, not a single little joystick, you know? All right, so we'll turn it on here. Try to see if this RGB is RGB or not. Maybe there's
Oh, that'd be
an
cool if you
RGB
could
thing.
change it.
This looks like something from Windows 98.
That does look kind of old. Nope. Okay, that's an ugly design then.
Maybe probably their higher end monitor or something would have it, and they just kept the same frame, which is, well, not great. But let's go ahead and verify what kind of
How do we get
display
rid of
settings
this?
we have. Get out of my way, please. So the thing was, I was expecting some of the cheaper monitors to have this problem, but this is true ghosting, ladies and gentlemen. You can see just the delay of like this window just kind of dragging behind it. Obviously you need like a slow-mo cam to like fully notice it, but when you're using it, it just makes everything look really blurry when things are moving quickly. It's not like everything stays super sharp. So we restarted the finals because the finals had a weird feel to it, I'll be honest with you. But we'll go ahead and get into the finals now, knowing that we think this monitor just has some pretty bad ghosting out of the box, and see if it's redeemable. This just in, guys, the most expensive monitor in our roundup appears to be the worst because the ghosting is just bad, and it's one of those where like it's so bad I don't even feel like I'm playing on high refresh rate compared to the other monitors.
Yeah, it's tough because I know we've used this brand before, at least on some of their other monitors, and I don't feel like we had this problem, so I don't know if maybe we kind of got a dud going on here.
I will say some people have said, and who are those people, I don't know.
Do we need to go into overdrive?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Some people have turned on overdrive, and that has been the way to actually improve.
It does say 1440p 140 hertz. Huh?
Okay, that actually,
It does look.
it looks a little better. It's still,
Yeah, that's cool better.
it does look a little better, but it's still, yeah, I don't know, man.
I never actually had to turn a setting on my monitor to see like higher.
Yeah, you play on it. I mean, you're already seeing it. It feels honestly worse to play on it than, you know, it actually is. It's one of those things where like if we tested this monitor first, we probably would have been like, it's okay, it's a cheap monitor, whatever. But the fact that all these other ones did not have this issue and this one is more expensive makes it harder to recommend this one.
I mean, I guess the colors are okay, but actually playing on it, which is what we're buying these for, not great.
So yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that this one is gonna be last, but the rest of the roundup looks pretty
Really
solid
good.
right now, I will say. But yeah, 1440p monitors, you can get good ones under 150 bucks, especially with deal hunting, and they're all available on Amazon. Use those links down below. But let's go and wrap this video up real quick and talk about our final thoughts from this roundup video.
The polls are in. KTC is number one with the 100 hertz monitor, the very first one that we looked at, just because of the fact that $90 for 27-inch and arguably higher refresh rate at 100 hertz is pretty insane, but obviously these prices will change.
Prices always change, especially with the Toasty Bros video. We kind of have the bad luck when it comes to that. But anyways, when it comes to these monitors, the prices will go up, they will go down, and depending on what price you get it at, you might want to go for one monitor over another. But all in all, we like all of these monitors. I will say the CRUA monitor was the only one that's a little bit weird because of the ghosting. All the other ones really didn't deal with that issue nearly as much, but really it is up to you guys to decide which one you want. And if you want to do some shopping yourself after watching this video, check the link subscription down below. They will be affiliate links, they will help us out. Let us know if you enjoy these roundup videos here on the channel. If there's anything else you want to see us do a roundup on, maybe roundups of Jonah.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Exciting news, on November 15th, we'll be giving away the best gaming PC we have ever done.
It features the Ryzen 7 9800X 3D and will be given away over on twitch.tv/ToastyBros, guys, so go hit that follow. And if you happen to miss that stream you're watching this month in the future, we do a pizza giveaway every single month, so stay followed and see you guys on the live stream. Bye-bye.